Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining from wherever you are. We know this might be early morning for some of you and late evening for the others. Uh, this is part of the MICCAI Student Board Webinar Series, and today it's all about getting ready for MICCAI 2026 in Strasbourg, which is a very beautiful place to spend a week at. We have four speakers today representing the society, the conference host, and the local chair, as well as a representative from the MICCAI Student Board, as well as the local student organizing committee. General housekeeping, drop your questions in the chat as we go. We take them in the Q&A at the end. The session is being recorded. Now, about the MICCAI Student Board in general, MSB is a student-run. It's happening since 2010, and we have three different goals that drive what we do. One is getting students involved. Second is helping students build real connections within the MICCAI community. And third is representing the students' interest to the MICCAI board. We do work as ad hoc members in working groups, special interest groups, and communities alongside the board. And a lot of committees have members from the MICCAI Student Board getting represented. And we do work all throughout the year. The conference is the visible part, and we have the events running throughout the year. Now, a few bunch of events that are happening this year in person at Strasbourg. One of our flagship events is the Doctoral Symposium, and it's one of the newest events as well. It's in the second edition currently. This year, we have received an overwhelming 50 submissions through a rigorous submission process. The accepted authors present posters across all 3 days of the main conference. The reports gets published in Doctoral Symposium proceedings, and they get to join the MICCAI Emerging Scholars collection that we maintain. This year, we have also introduced an exception track for outstanding pre-doctoral research trainees. Second is the PhD Thesis Madness, which is connected to the Doctoral Symposium. The best reports get presented over a lunch event in a 3-minute thesis style competition. It's fast and genuinely fun to watch. Next, we have the Emerge workshop. It is for young scientists by young scientists. We are in our third edition right now, and we have received over 40 submissions. Two important things that we care about here is student-led research, as well as papers from underrepresented regions. We also run in a revise and resubmit format with a lot of mentorship built around it. And the goal is to help people turn the workshop paper into a journal manuscript. We also have Educational Challenge, which has been running for over a decade. The MSB is maintaining a MICCAI educational library, which with over 200 resources as of now. And we have a bunch of social and sports events, including the morning runs, the MICCAI football match, evening tour, and a full day tour. And we have some pictures from the academic events conducted last year in the Doctoral Symposium poster series.
Okay, here are some of photos from activities from MICCAI last year in Tejon. We had early run events, evening tour, football game, full day tours that were designed to experience the tradition and culture of the host city of Tejon. We organize these events and activities where participants can meet each other in a more informal setting, make new connections, and and enjoy some time apart from the main conference. Here is arranging these activities requires a collaborative team effort, which is why the MICCAI Student Board consists of 16 members from diverse backgrounds. We have members from different institutions, countries, with each of us responsible for different activities within the student board. We have members who are responsible for organizing the events, such as the educational events, scientific events, webinars, sports events, and public relations. We regularly share announcements, upcoming events, deadlines, and other activities through our social channels and student board webpage. You can follow us here and the link. You can scan the QR code and follow us through the link and get connected to our social accounts, and you'd be so that you can get much of the updates and happening events in Strasbourg. Here is the schedule for the session, for the webinar session today. We have 4 short sessions, each looking at MICCAI 2026 from a different perspective. Session 1, first we have Professor Marius George Linguruzu, President of the MICCAI Society, who will be giving us a talk about MICCAI Society's initiatives this year. Then we have Professor Mohammad Yaqub, General Chair of MICCAI 2026, who will give us updates on the conference itself. Then we have Professor Caroline Izzat, our local committee chair, who will talk about hosting MICCAI in France and introduce some of the local context in Strasbourg. And then we have from Jonas from MICCAI Student Board, who will give us more practical sides on how to prepare for the event in Strasbourg. Then we will finish the webinar with 10 minutes of Q&A. Feel free to post your questions in the chat and Q&A, and you can mention the speaker if the question is directed to them.
At first, we'll just have a quick introduction of our panelists. I'm very glad to introduce, everyone knows about Marius. Dr. Marius George Linguruzu is a distinguished leader in AI and medical imaging research dedicated to improve the lives of vulnerable children and patients with rare diseases. He is the inaugural director of the Division of AI Research and Connor Family Professor and endowed chair in research and innovation at the Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C., where he has built institutional capacity in machine learning and quantitative imaging. Dr. Linguruzu is also professor of radiology and at pediatrics, the George Washington University, and a co-founder of Pediatrics, and previously held research positions at the National Institute of Health and at the National Institute of Research, Science and Technology. He is also the president of the MICCAI Society and has held leadership roles in major scientific organizations, including the IEEE EMBS Signal Processing Society and the Society of Medical Information Processing and Analysis. His contributions have been recognized with numerous honors, including the Excellence in Engineering Award at the UK Parliament, the Distinguished Service Award of the IEEE EMBS, and the election as a Fellow of the MICCAI Society. His work and impact have been featured by international media outlets, including The Economist, The Washington Post, and The Times. He is a speaker in high demand and has advised international institutions on strategic AI initiatives for the future of healthcare. And I'm happy to introduce our second panelist, Dr. Mohammad Yaqub. Dr. Mohammad Yaqub is an associate professor at MBZUAI, Abu Dhabi, UAE, where he leads the Biomedia Research Group. Dr. Yaqub's research focus is on AI, machine learning, and medical imaging, and also digital health. His work spans the full innovation pipeline, from fundamental AI research to the development, regulatory approval, and commercialization of healthcare technologies. Prior to joining MBZUAI, Dr. Yaqub completed his PhD at the University of Oxford and then served as a research fellow there. He was also the vice president of engineering at Intelligent Ultrasound, where he led multidisciplinary teams in developing FDA-approved AI-powered medical device products that are now used by healthcare professionals worldwide and has impacted millions of patients. Dr. Yaqub also plays a leading role in the global medical AI community. He also serves as the general chair of MICCAI 2026 and contributes to numerous committees in shaping the future of healthcare AI. You are muted, Vishal.
Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Caroline Izzat. She is a full-time professor of computer science at the University of Strasbourg. She is currently heading the computer science department of the iCube Institute. Her research interest is mainly focused on computer graphics and artificial intelligence applied to healthcare. She is the past president of the MICCAI Society from 2022 to 2025. She was also a MICCAI Society board member for the last 6 years. She was involved in the organization of multiple MICCAI events, program chairs, and organizer of multiple MICCAI satellite events. She has also served in many editorial boards and program committees in the field, and is one of the current IPCI General Chairs and the current Treasurer of ICS Society. She has served as an expert for the European Innovation Council and the European Commission, an appointed member of the French National Council of the Universities, and a member of the Scientific Committee for the French National Research Agency. She is the current local committee chair for MICCAI 2026. Next on our panelists, we have Jonas Metali, who is a PhD student in computer-assisted interventions at IQ Laboratory, University of Strasbourg. He is affiliated with Images System and IHU Strasbourg. He is supervised by Professor Caroline Izard and Dr. Yuan Verde. His research focuses on automatic multi-needle adaptive planning for cantular thermal ablation spanning multiple needle trajectory optimization, real-time interoperative replanning, and ergonomic planning interfaces. He holds a master's degree from the CMI in computer science and at the University of Strasbourg. His work has been published at MICCAI, including Cryotrack in 2024, and on planning and navigation of cryoablation and CNCA, a chained neural cellular automata architecture for fast and accurate thermal ablation estimation. He has also published in IJCARS on GPU accelerated real-time thermal ablation simulation, and will be presenting us on the practical sides on how to prepare and travel and stay in Strasbourg. Now we invite Professor Maria George Lingeru to start his first session and give us a talk about MICCAI Society's initiatives this year.
Thank you very much, Naren and Bishal, for the kind introduction. Well, first of all, I was a student too. So I was a student at University of Oxford. Like you heard, Mohammed was in the same group as I was when I joined my first MICCAI in 2001. So for the last 25 years, I haven't stopped coming back to MICCAI. It is my privilege to serve as president today and to tell you a little bit about initiatives that we do at the society, and I'm mostly going to focus of what we do outside of the conference. But also first I want to start again thanking Akash, Bishal and the MSB board and the entire organization of students at MICCAI for the fantastic work that you are doing. You are our biggest group attending the conference, and you are our pride and joy, and we look forward to finding new ways to support your career growth and development and to helping you become the strongest scientists in the field of MICCAI. So also I thank Dr. Bear that you see here on the screen where my lab is based, and Dr. Bear has been a sponsor of MICCAI as well for the last few years, supporting grants and travel awards. Some of you, I hope, were the beneficiaries of these grants. So just to do a quick introduction to the MICCAI Society, all the information can be found at our new website. Thank you to Diana, who's also online with us, and our communication working group for redesigning the look, the logo, and the website for MICCAI. If you haven't seen that yet, please have a look. But you know, MICCAI is the leading international forum for research, education, and practice in the fields of MIC, machine learning in medical imaging, CAI, and general computer-assisted medical intervention and robotics. It's also, as you heard, a gathering place where we celebrate our community, we have fun as well, and we had fantastic social events organized by teams such as yours. Our mission is really simple. It's the promotion, preservation, and facilitation of research, education, and practice in the field of MIC and CAI. We do this for members for more than 60 countries, and you see here a map that I'm hoping we're going to see fuller and fuller every year. And while our annual conference is the flagship activity of the society, we do lots of other things outside of the conference itself and throughout the year. And this is what I'm going to focus again in my presentation today, about how we do knowledge exchange, train future leaders in MICCAI. We support clinical translation and global collaboration, and we have more and more initiatives in open science. Science is what we do best. It is the focus of our society, but also we want to provide our services with transparency and in a way that is serving our community. And I think many of you may have seen a survey that I sent a few months ago, and I will be talking more about this when we will meet, I hope, with many of you at MICCAI in Strasbourg. Because, as Diana reminded us earlier today, there are 53 days, 14 hours, and there are a few minutes, I think there are probably 13 hours by now, until the kickoff of MICCAI 2026 in Strasbourg. You've seen a lot of communication about the change of venue that we had from what was originally planned in Abu Dhabi, and this year we relocated in Strasbourg. We also will be going to Auckland in New Zealand in 2027 and Sao Paulo in Brazil in 2028. And if you'll join me at the opening of MICCAI 26 in, 53 days and almost 14 hours, you will hear at the time about 2 exciting new locations we will be going in 2029 and 2030. But going back to MICCAI and science, we are very proud of what you and the MICCAI community is producing to the publications we get at MICCAI. And I look every year at what's happening with our proceedings. We don't have the results from 25 yet, hasn't been a year yet. But in the first year from the publication of proceedings in 2024, we had 2.2 million accesses of our publications. This is another testimony of the great impact of the work done by MICCAI and by the research that students and all members of our society are doing. Because again, science is what we do best. Now, about the MICCAI Society, just wanted to reintroduce to everyone our new component of the MICCAI board. This is led, first of all, by an executive leadership, where I had a great pleasure to work together with Steffi Speidel and Shahai Zhuang, who are the secretary and treasurer of the society. I like to remind people all the time that we are all unpaid volunteers, and we're doing this in our spare time, and there is a lot of work to be done. Caroline, who's also here with us, who was our previous president, can also testify to that. Our board has, in addition to the executive positions, now I'm looking at, I think, 13 more members, and these are Spiros, Albert, Martina, Janzu, Natasha, Gina, Antonio, Nicola, Danail, Pinkun, Mohamed, Jichao, and Maria. A very diverse group from all corners of the world, but also with different expertise and initiatives they lead at the society. Please engage with them at the conference and online as well. They are great resources for mentorship, for guidance and information. And what do they do at the time they're not at the conference? First of all, yes, very quick reminder. We elect every year a new member by the society vote. So those nominations are going in now. If you're a member of the society, you can nominate someone to go to the board. And also, very importantly, please vote and choose who you want to represent you and the society in the future. So our members of the board are leading our working groups. And this is really what is the bread and butter of the board, working in organizing activities, in building new initiatives for the society. This is the administration and the innovation of the society. We're looking at career advancement, at clinical translation, communications and media, the conference affairs, the diversity of our society, how do we support education, and how we work with industry. And again, all the information I'm presenting today can be retrieved quite easily on our new website. Our associated board, I will not speak about MSB. We heard from Naren, he had a great introduction to this. But if you don't know Women in MICCAI and Rise MICCAI, please engage with them as well. I'm hoping many of you already engaged with that. Women, obviously, in MICCAI are looking at strengthening and increasing participation of female scientists, while Rise MICCAI is increasing our exclusiveness in geographic diversity within the community. We also have the special interest groups, and these are focused communities of researchers for in-depth discussion and exchange of ideas. We have a growing number of SIGs, of special interest groups. So we're looking at computational pathology. We have a group on African research in Africa, registration medical ultrasound. The Seek of Challenges is one of our flagship activities as well. Cardiac, fairness, explainability, and human factors in MICCAI and human-computer interaction. All of these initiatives can be joined if you're a member of MICCAI and you're interested in this space. Please interact with them and potentially join their boards. So now all these initiatives are very much focused on training and education. Our associated boards, our working groups, our special interest groups. And you've seen from Naren a few initiatives that are planned for MICCAI 2026. Here I'm just showing you a broad spectrum of activities that are being done, starting with summer schools, with journal clubs, talks of all kinds from experts at MICCAI and invited guests as well. And these are, you can always find this information through our newsletter, through our media, through our social media, and the emails that Diana is sending regularly. Mentorship and career growth, I think, is something very important to this group as well. And this is all done under one umbrella, and that is the MICCAI Society Mentorship Program. This is something that started in 2008, and it's the role for which I joined the MICCAI board. We have a working group now that is very, very successful, and it's working quite closely with the Startup Village, with MSB, with Rise MICCAI, AFRICAI, and other programs that are doing mentorship programs. So we're doing this in a coordinated way, and we're always accepting applications and new members into the program. So very briefly about a few initiatives. First of all, something I just attended in June this year, and this is one of the new initiatives we're doing with the European Society for Digital and Integrative Pathology. You may remember I made an announcement last year in Dijon about signing some collaborations with new societies. ESDIP is one of them, and there was a computational pathology summer school organized in Graz with 76 participants for 25 countries. This is also co-organized with the Asian Society of Digital Pathology, with whom we just signed an agreement that was announced, I think, last week. Last year, I announced the creation of the MICCAI Society Awards for Advancement of Health Equity, and we gave 7 awards in the amount of $10,000 each. First, 6 geographical awards for continental regions, and then 1 for challenges in environmental and climate health. And these are new projects that improve access to healthcare and enhance health outcomes for all populations. You'll see in 2026 posters from all the winners who will present that work at MICCAI 2026. And there will be another call announced at the conference. Also, the MICCAI Society membership grants, again, I'm hoping that some of you are beneficiaries of this. We gave 100 free memberships, mostly to students and early career researchers, but also to underrepresented and underserved groups. This is to foster inclusivity and broader participation in the society. There will be, again, a call for the MICCAI Society membership grants announced at the conference. And please don't hesitate to participate there. And then we provide lots of other awards and grants. And this is because we like to celebrate our successes and the talent that we have at MICCAI. And it starts with the Enduring Impact Award, maybe the most prestigious award that comes at MICCAI, our fellowships, best papers, best scientists, and so on awards. But also the travel grants and the participation and registration grants that are supported by the society from the funds that we gather every year from the conference, also from sponsorship that we get to Rise MICCAI, Mirasol, and the National Institutes of Health. A call was already out this year, and I think the selection is already been made for this year. If this is something new to you, please keep an eye for the following years. So these are all benefits for being a member of MICCAI, where you can participate on boards, committees. You have voting rights. Really important to have your voice heard at MICCAI. You have discounts. You have access to all these events and recordings, to the participations, to mentorship, and so on. Membership for students, it's only $50 a year. And as I've already said, we provide 100 of them or more free every year. And this is to help you become really strong scientists in this field, and we also like to learn from you. So please provide feedback whenever we ask, but even when we don't ask, let us know what we can do better to support your career development and scientific growth. We'll have future initiatives as well, but for that, you'll have to come to Strasbourg when we'll announce what is new for the coming year. So we'll always have a little surprise coming soon, and I think something quite exciting that is being prepared right now. So thank you very much for this. Thank you again to the MICCAI Student Board for the fantastic activities that are happening. Do not hesitate to let me and the board and all the senior members of MICCAI how to get involved and how to support you best, and stay connected with us for everything else that is new in the society. Thanks again, and see you in Strasbourg.
Thank you very much, Marius, for mentioning all the wonderful initiatives of the MICCAI Society. Let's move to the second session. Over to Professor Mohammed Yaqub.
Okay, thank you very much, for the introduction and for all the hard work that happens in the background from MSB, and for having me today to speak to people about what the latest update on MICCAI 2026. As I mentioned, I'm Mohammed Yaqub from MSB Webinar. I'm the General Chair of the conference, and I'll be very brief, but if you have any question, feel free to ask in the Q&A session. So actually, it all started probably 4 years ago, when we started working to bid for MICCAI 2026. And this is just a picture of the organizing committee at MICCAI 25 for the organizing committee of MICCAI 2026. And as Marius mentioned, and many people know, we bid that to come to Abu Dhabi. And because of the current situation in the region, we moved it to Strasbourg, France, which is honestly a great place to have MICCAI in. And I'll leave that to Caroline to give you more details about it. But we will really look forward to welcoming you in Strasbourg. But let me focus on other things. Focus on the program, on the satellite events, on the main core component of MICCAI. So here you see the main program overview, which you should be able to access on the website as well. Let me zoom in a little bit. So it follows a similar program for the previous MICCAIs, where we have the main conference is 3 days. That's Monday, September 28th until Wednesday, September 30th. This is the main conference. 1 day before, 1 day after, we will have the satellite event. So we have on the 27th of September, the first day of satellite event, and the last day on Thursday, 1st of October. During the conference, there are many initiatives and activities, and I'll go through some of them, but feel free to have a look at the website where you'll find way more details than what I will tell you. You clearly see that there are poster sessions, oral sessions, keynote speakers, activities by the MSB, and many more. So let me zoom in a little bit in some of these interesting activities. Initially, when we wanted MICCAI 2026, we wanted to follow MICCAI 2026 to follow two themes. These are focused on, first, the clinical impact, and the second one on making the community more connected. We live in the era of multimodal analysis, which means you don't just have, like, I don't know, MRI scans get analyzed by AI, where now we live in an era where you have signal with MRI data, with ultrasound, with CT, with pathology, with even multi-omics. So that's where we wanted to see this MICCAI is moving towards multimodal analysis. It's great thank you to the people in the background. It's not just me. I'm just one small person working, but there are many great people in the background. And you can see the name of many of them. I wanted to put the pictures. It was too many pictures to add. But there are so many people working in the background to deliver MICCAI 2026. So Marius mentioned very important thing. Everyone here is unpaid volunteer. Everyone does their work just to serve the community. There's nothing paid for anyone. And that's very important to appreciate, because honestly, I really very happy to work with these great people to deliver MICCAI 2026. Right, let's move on into the program. So it's an exciting program ahead of us. So let me give you a little bit more information. So the number of papers that was submitted to MICCAI 2026 was a record number, 4,601. It's a 25% increase from last year. Some were rejected directly disk rejected, but the number that got reviewed is around 4,400. We accepted this year 1,167 papers, which is of an acceptance rate of 27, similar to previous years. That led to 19 volumes in Springer, which is an exciting number, honestly. Every year I've been in my first MICCAI was 2010 maybe, or 8 or 9. And then I've seen it going from very small number of volumes all the way to 19 volumes. It's getting crazy, honestly. But that happened because we have an amazing team of reviewers, or almost 4,000 reviewers, and a large number of AC. So these people most of the credit should go to them because they've done the hard work. Ahead of us, there's an amazing set of keynotes. Professor Eric Jang from MBZGI will be giving a talk about medical word models. Professor Daniela Ross from MIT, a well-known figure. She will be talking about robotics. And Professor Fabian Thijs from TUM will be talking about computational biology and multi-omics analysis. So exciting set of world leaders talking to you in MICCAI 2026. An event that happens in parallel at the second day of MICCAI is ClinicCAI. So if you've never heard of it, this is the clinical translation event. It's a whole day event that happens in parallel with the main conference. It's led by clinicians. It has keynote speakers, usually clinicians, paper and poster discussion, panel discussion, happens all clinically led event. And it has a 21 oral and 36 poster presentation. So you will be able to access that as well. Another great initiative in MICCAI is Open Data that happens on Wednesday, on the 30th. And it's a great initiative that becomes recently a SIG, where you can see the initiative by the society on making more and more public data to the community. So there will be lots of talks, presentation, keynote, and so on from public open data. It's also exciting to meet industry. So this is a snapshot of some of the industries that will be coming to MICCAI 2026, where you will be able to talk to them and discuss with them. There will be an industry, there will be a sponsorship and startup village session on the second day, where you will be able to actually meet them and ask questions and talk to these industries. But they will also have booths where you can go and talk to them. That's it really from my side. The only thing I would say, I would love to see you at MICCAI. So we would love to see you in Strasbourg in September. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Professor Yaqub. Let's move to Professor Carolyn Essert, the local chair of the conference.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, thank you. And do you see my slides okay? Yes, thank you. So, first of all, I wanted to thank the MSB for inviting me to present this during this seminar. And I wanted also to say to Mohammed how much I was sorry when MICCAI decided, unfortunately, to relocate the conference due to these problems, because I experienced this same situation firsthand in 2021 when MICCAI was supposed to be held in Strasbourg, and we had to cancel the in-person meeting and go to a virtual meeting because of the pandemic. So this is how MICCAI 2021 looked like for those of you who didn't attend that meeting. Poster sessions and panel discussions all online. So this is my great pleasure to have a second chance, a second opportunity this year to welcome you finally in Strasbourg and catch up with everyone and have you all here to discover this beautiful city, beautiful region, and all what Strasbourg has to offer. So for those of you who are not familiar with the European geography and the geography of France, Strasbourg is located on the very eastern part of France at the border with Germany, Actually, if you look on the right image, you can see the Rhine River. The blue line on the right is the Rhine River, which is actually the border with Germany. So Strasbourg is very, very close to Germany, and you can even go to Germany using the tramway of Strasbourg. Okay, so you can cross a border by using the tramway. You just have to take, of course, your papers with you, but you don't even see the border, actually. You don't realize you are in Germany. So that's a particular location and particular fun fact. So as you understand with this location, Strasbourg has a long history with Germany and a lot of shared culture that I will go through in the next few slides. So Strasbourg, maybe you already know that it's one of the two European capitals with Brussels. It means that the European Parliament is 3 weeks per month in Brussels and 1 week per month in Strasbourg. So it's probably because of its central location in Europe that it has been chosen to be the home of European institutions, so that not only the European Parliament, but also the European Court of Justice and so on. A few buildings are here in the European district in Strasbourg. It's a very touristic city. We have almost more than 6 million visitors each year, especially during the Christmas market. So the Christmas market is a very famous Christmas market in Europe. And every year it attracts, during the months of December, 3 million visitors, only in one single month. So with this, you understand that Strasbourg has a capacity to host big events and has a lot of hotel capacity. I'll talk about that in a minute. Strasbourg also attracts not only for the Christmas market, but also for its 2,000 years of history, of wonderful sightseeing. We have two whole districts in the city that are listed in the UNESCO World Heritage List. We have this monumental cathedral that was built 1,000 years ago. We have this Petite France medieval quarter, very cute, with the half-timbered house, very lovely. And we have also many things to visit around Strasbourg, especially what we call the wine route of Alsace. So Alsace is a part of flat land located in between two mountains, the French mountains of the Vosges and the German mountains of the Forêt Noire, Black Forest. And on the sides of the mountains, we grow a lot of vineyards and we produce a lot of wines. So that's why it's called the wine road. It's going from north of Alsace to the south of Alsace with beautiful sightseeing spots here. And I believe the tour organized by the MSB will go along that route. And in autumn, the colors are particularly wonderful. Alsace is also well known in France and abroad for its delicious gastronomy, which is a mix of traditional French cuisine and local specialties and German also influence. Of course, as we are a wine producing region, we have a lot of wines. We have also a lot of delicious dishes that are very, very specific to Alsace. You see one of them here, which is the Kugelhof on the bottom left corner, which is a delicious cake. Yeah, we also produce beers, so you will have many opportunities to taste all this. Strasbourg is also a city that is turned towards eco-friendly way of living. So the public transportation network is very developed, and many people go from one place to the other using the public transportation, especially the tramway. The tramway network is particularly well used and developed in the city. So this is probably what you're going to use to go from the center to the convention center. We have a lot of bicycle paths as well. At some point, Strasbourg was the city in France with the biggest cycling network in France. I think now it's second, but it's still one of the largest in France. We have a bike sharing service, if you like, and the city uses zero pesticide in public parks. It's been like 5 or 6 years now, I think. So it's very eco-friendly. In terms of hotel capacity, normally you don't have to worry because we have a lot of hotels. Like I said, we have a lot of tourists every year, and we have a very wide range of let's say, hotel categories and price ranges from around 70 euros to around 200 euros and maybe a little bit more now. And we also have a lot of Airbnb apartments available in the city. Most of them are in the center, but you can find many apartments almost everywhere in every district of Strasbourg. I believe the two hotels of the conference that are very close to the convention center are the Hilton and the Marriott. I think those the information about those two can be found on the MICCAI 2026 website. The cost of living, I already mentioned the price ranges of the hotels. Food is relatively affordable. You can have a very cheap meal for around 12 euros, a mid-range restaurant. You can have dinner easily for 25, maybe sometimes 30 euros. And a very, very, very nice meal. If you want to have a luxury meal, you can have it for, let's say, 60 euros, including beverage. A few examples of prices for beverages are given here as well. There is a shuttle train from the Strasbourg airport, and to give you an idea, is the same price as the public transportation inside the city. It's less than 2 euros per trip. We have filed an application to the city because they have a program where they offer tramway tickets for the whole participants of the conferences. So we don't have the answer yet because we applied very late because of this relocation of the event. So we are still waiting for the answer from the city. But fingers crossed, I hope we can offer tickets to all the participants so that they can move around freely using the public transportation this year. Now, let me introduce you to the exhibition center. The exhibition center has 3 auditoriums, 23 meeting rooms for the auditoriums, of course, for the main keynote sessions, and also the parallel oral sessions, the clinical session, the open data science session, and the 23 meeting rooms for the satellite events mostly. And we have this very big exhibition space where there will be the posters and also the exhibitions and the coffee breaks and lunches. So here is the layout very quickly. So the auditoriums and the rooms and the exhibition hall are very close to each other. You don't have to cross streets or whatever. It's in the same building and very accessible. Now, one word maybe about the local institutions, the people in Strasbourg who participated in MICCAI 2021 organization and also MICCAI 2026. So in Strasbourg, we have a long history of research on everything about healthcare. Not only computer science and AI and robotics, but also drug discovery and other medical devices. So this is thanks to a few partners who are located in Strasbourg. Here you can see some pictures of the University of Strasbourg. It's about 56,000 students, a quarter of which are foreign students. We have 3,200 faculty members, a lot of training programs, some Nobel Prizes, 10 campuses, 23 libraries, 35 departments, and 77 research institutes. So one of these research institutes is the iCube Institute. It's actually the largest research institute in Strasbourg. It has 800 people, all included, permanent members and PhD students and administrative staff. We have 4 departments. I have the privilege to be leading the computer science department. And within these departments, we have 17 research groups, 4 of which are focused on MICCAI topics. Maybe you have already heard about some of them. The images group, I'm part of the images group. There is also the robotics team, RDH, that includes the CAMA group of Nicolas Padua. You might know Nicolas Padua. The IMIS group and the MLMS group, who are working on medical image processing and modeling and simulation. Maybe you also know Stéphane Cotin, for example. We also have two different institutes, two additional institutes, the IHU, which is a University Hospital Institute. It's an institute for image-guided surgery that does a lot of things like translational research, patient care, training and education, technology transfer, and also a preclinical platform that helps companies to test their new devices or their new technologies. There is a strong link between this institute and the iCube Institute. We are working together, we're using their platform, and they are participating in all the research and the studies. So there is a very high link between the two. The ERCAD Institute is also a very well known for having the first remote surgery between Strasbourg and New York by Professor Maresco in 2001. The project Lindbergh, I don't know if you have heard of it. So they did this remote surgery when Professor Maresco was in New York, operating a patient who was in Strasbourg. So this institute does research and training. They have expanded since this first experiment. Now they have 9 different institutes on 4 continents, and they have trained almost 15,000 specialists worldwide. So they have cutting-edge installations and facilities. And on top of all these institutes and the university, we have different clusters and groups, such as the Alsace BioValley cluster, the ENACT AI cluster. So clusters is when the government puts a lot of money on some specific stuff in France. They call them clusters. So it's basically clusters on health and cluster on artificial intelligence. And we also have this MedTech campus that groups everything I mentioned just before, plus some private companies as well. So we have a strong presence in research in AI and healthcare in Strasbourg. That's about what I wanted to show you. Maybe this last 2-minute video where you can discover where is Alsace, where is Strasbourg, very close to Germany. Here we are zooming in on the iCube Institute, which is on the southern campus. The south campus, now we are zooming to Strasbourg, to the old city. The hospital of Strasbourg, the main buildings of the hospital. We can also see the IHU and the ERCAD Institute on the left. And then we're moving to the department building with this nice logo of the region Alsace. Now, some historic buildings. These are the Pont Couvert covered bridges that are not covered anymore. This is the Petite France district with the medieval district with the half-timbered houses. And then we're moving to the cathedral. We can see almost the whole center here, which is listed on the UNESCO World Heritage. So this cathedral was built 1,000 years ago. It's very nice to visit. There is an astronomical clock in the cathedral as well, which is very magnificent as well. This is the second district listed on the UNESCO, which dates from the German period when Strasbourg was German, with a lot of historical buildings and churches. And now we're moving to the main building of it's the University Palace. It's called like this. And then we're going to the European district with the European Parliament, building of the European Parliament. You can also see this using a special touristic boat that you can take. And this is the convention center where we're going to have the conference. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Essert. Let's get started with Jonas about the practical tips about moving around Strasbourg.
Hello, can you hear me all right? Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So thank you for the introduction. Let's go straight into the details of preparation for MICCAI 2026. So this will be done in 5 big parts, starting with visas, which is a very important part for many of you. Then we are going to talk about hotels in Strasbourg, how to get there, planes, trains, buses, and what you'll do once you're there, how to get around the place, what's the weather like, and maybe even get an introduction to local habits. And of course, I will talk about our great region of Alsace, because I think you've been sent this year in a very nice place to discover. So for visas, here you can see a map of different countries. You have 3 colors. Blue is the EU, the European Economic Area, and Switzerland. If you're from this area, you don't have to ask for visas. You can just travel to France without a thought. If you are in one of the green countries, there are currently 60, well, you can come to France without visa as well, under 90 days of stay. But if you are in the orange countries, then you will have to ask for a visa. Usually, you find online this information that it takes 15 days. Well, that's the minimum, and actually, you should forget this number. There is a problem, and it's in the second step, not in the step of the online forum on france-visa.gouv.fr. It's actually getting an appointment at a consulate, an embassy, or a visa center. Those slots actually run weeks ahead, so you have to book them now if you want to get them in time. It's very important to do it very fast. And in order to be prepared, also get the MICCAI invitation letter that you can get once you have registered and paid for MICCAI. So next step is booking your hotel. And there are many options. You can go through the conference site, booking.com, Airbnb. Just look for prices. They vary, and I advise you to compare. One advice is to look for 3 districts once you want to go to Strasbourg. The main district will be besides the venue. It allows you to go to the venue by walking. So it's very convenient. Then you have, of course, the city center. That is very nice to be at, but a little bit pricier. And final option, which is around the train station, that is cheaper, but a bit further away. But don't worry about distance, because Strasbourg is a city where the transportation networks brings you everywhere under basically 20 minutes. So that's very nice. So you don't really have to pay extra for the address. And finally, one thing people usually don't tell you about is that from the 5th to the 8th of October, there will be a European Parliament sitting session where laws will be voted. So it's after the conference, but this information is mostly for those of you that want to stay a bit longer. So take this into account and try to get hotels as fast as possible, because the booking, the rooms go fast during these sessions. Next. Okay, so now let's talk about how to get to Strasbourg. There is an airport near Strasbourg, which is sadly very small, and usually you'll get through this airport if you come from Europe or Northern Africa. But most of you will come most likely to one of these 3 big spots, either Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Frankfurt, or Basel. These are very big hubs that have way more choices, cheaper flights, and I'm probably sure that you will be landing at one of these. From these big hubs, you have two modes of transportation to Strasbourg. The easiest one is by train, and it's basically 2 hours from Paris. It's under 2 hours from Frankfurt and 90 minutes from Basel in Switzerland. Then there is the option of taking a bus, which is cheaper but also slower. Many nice options exist, Flixbus or BlaBlaCar in France, and they actually come from many different cities to Strasbourg. But you'll have to plan ahead. Try not to come at the morning when you have a presentation, because there can be jams. Now, once you arrive in Strasbourg, you'll most likely land at the Gare Centrale, the main train station. And the easiest way and most convenient way in Strasbourg to get around is to use public transportation and the tram system. The tram system from the station to the conference center is just a 15-minute journey, taking the tram C to Republic and then hopping onto the tram B or E to Wacken. To get your tickets for the transportation system, you can either buy them at the little gray machines that you can find on the platforms. You can see a picture down in the middle. And you have then to validate this ticket you got before entering the tram on these red posts you see on the right picture. And it's very important to do it beforehand, because you cannot validate your tickets inside. It's particular in Strasbourg. And a second option to get your tickets is through the CTS app, which is an easier way to get your tickets. There are also alternative ways to get around the city. For instance, you can take taxis or Uber, Bolt. They are both working here. Or if you are more like you're more a person who likes biking, then you got the VeloHop service, which is a citywide rental service for bikes. And Strasbourg is actually a very nice city for biking. You can get anywhere extremely fast. So it's actually a very nice option. And of course, walking is also nice in Strasbourg because it's a flat city. And well, you can go through the whole city center in basically 20 minutes by foot. So this is also an option to take into account. On the weather side of things, expect warm afternoons and cold evenings. So come prepared. Think about taking layers, having a light and waterproof coat rather than a big coat. Because 1 in 3 days is expected rain basically during this period. It can of course change, but that's the rule. And don't forget taking comfortable shoes, because in the city center there are lots of stone pavements. So it's nice to have some comfortable shoes. Even more if you plan on going on our MSB events, where we'll have a tour of the city center on foot. Now to the practical bullet points. Emergencies. If you have an emergency, call 112. This is the European number for emergencies. Medical, police, or firefighters. Of course, you also have in France distinct numbers for each that you can see here on the screen, but I would advise remembering 112. Of course, think about if you're coming from Europe to update your European health insurance card before coming, or if you are from outside, check your travel insurance. Tap water in France in general, and also in Europe in general, is drinkable. So don't worry about this. You can drink tap water. Also, a nice fact is that in restaurants, you can ask for free tap water. Just ask for une carafe d'eau, and they will give you a jug of free water with your meal. Same idea, bread and seasoning are also free in the restaurants, not like, for instance, in Italy, where you have to pay for it. And the service is also included in your bill. So if you round up, if you pay your tip, that's because you wanted to. Now, sorting. Sorting is a big thing in Strasbourg. Basically, the rule to remember is that there are 3 colors. Yellow is for plastics, metal, cardboard, paper, basically wrapping material. And never put them together in a plastic bag inside of them. Green is for glass. don't forget to remove the caps from them. And blue, which can be also found in black sometimes, is for everything else. So if you're unsure, just put it in the blue or sometimes black ones. Now to plugs and power. We use the Type E in France, which is readily available in Europe. But, well, you can also, I guess, you use your charger if it has only 2 pins. But if you come from the UK, the US, China, Japan, India, and Australia, you have to think about bringing an adapter to France. Now to the local habits. One very nice habit to learn before coming is to always say bonjour before you ask anything, which means hello. It shows that you are actually engaging and trying. For instance, bonjour, parlez-vous anglais, which means hello, do you speak English? And it opens up people. Going straight into a discussion, asking questions without saying hello is mostly seen as rude. So think about this before asking for something. Kitchens in France in general have strict hours. Expect lunch from 12 to 14 and dinner from 19 to 21:30. If you turn up at 15:30, then I guess you will have to eat a sandwich, sadly. And Alsace is actually its own thing. It has a very deep history, our region. It is basically, it can be described as France with German bones, because it has changed hands multiple times. I would say about like the 70 years, it has changed 4 times hands. So you can find many street names in German, French. So very interesting fact to keep in mind. Now to the fun part after logistics. If you stay longer. Strasbourg is a European capital, so you have been sent to a very, very important place. It contains 3 big European institutions, as Karin talked about last session. So you have the European Parliament, where European laws are voted by the Parliament. You got the Council of Europe and the Court of Human Rights. The Strasbourg city center has also been protected by UNESCO, so the whole city center, in 1988. And it has actually been the first time France put forward not just a single monument, but the whole city center. And of course, our big monument is the Cathedral of Strasbourg, Notre Dame de Strasbourg. And it has been the tallest building for over 227 years. And today it's free to walk into. So it's a very nice place to visit. Not so far away, half an hour from Strasbourg, you can find Colmar, which is a very nice city that has inspired a lot of artists. You may know the Japanese anime artist, that's Miyazaki. He drew here, actually, in Colmar, got inspired for movies such as Howl's Moving Castle. It has also been the inspiration for other movies, such as the Beauty and the Beast, where the village of Belle has been inspired from Ribeauvillé and Recvier, which are towns not so far away. And for the Americans, Colmar is the birthplace of Bartholdi, which is the sculptor of the Statue of Liberty, which is a symbol of New York City today. Now, things you have to eat and try out before you leave. Tarte flambée. It's a staple in Strasbourg and in Alsace in general. You have to try this. You can find it as tarte flambée under on the menus, but it can also be found as Flammkuch, which is the Alsatian pronunciation of the word. You also get to try out Choucroute if you're very hungry, Kugelhopf, as Caroline introduced, for breakfast, for instance, which is very sweet, or Bretzels for a walk. And of course, we have very nice white wines such as Riesling, Gewürztraminer, and Pinot Gris.
Hi, Jonas. Just to
Yes?
interrupt, we are running out of time, and it
Oh,
would
we are
be
running out of time. Okay. I will
it
try
would
to.
be good, speed things up on your Thank you.
Okay, so well, I will go over the MSB events. We have planned for you the traditional MICCAI soccer game on Wednesday. No skill required. It's just for fun. So get in touch, and of course 2 visits. One evening visit of the whole of Strasbourg city center, and a visit of the wine road with wine tasting, trying out local foods, visiting Colmar. So go to your login on MICCAI registration and just add them if you're interested in it. Think about the fact that these are capped, these events, and they run out fast. Takeaways from the session: check your visas on France Visas, book your room, and add the MSB events. Thank you very much, and I can't wait to see you in Strasbourg.
Thank you so much, Jonas. We'll just have a quick Q&A. Have first question, which to either Marius or Mohammed. The submissions are increasing year by year. How is the review system sustainable? We have gotten a question from the chat. Would one of you like to go? Over to Mohammed.
I can jump into this one. Review is a hectic thing now all over the place, not just in MICCAI, in all conferences, because LLMs are getting more powerful, writing papers are getting probably easier, and people reviewing, and all of that with LLM. So for us this year, what we did is we tried to be pragmatic of what we do. I mean, we encourage the use of LLM for specific things in terms of improving the writing and the type, like fixing typos and so on. But the work has to be original. It should be coming from the authors. There was also, major issue that we encountered is that, unfortunately, because some authors using LLMs, there will be hallucinated references, and hence we made a decision this year to, if the paper is accepted at the first stage, and then we had an analysis of all the references, we made, if a paper contains hallucinated citations, we rejected that paper. So I don't think I have a clear answer of what will happen in the future as well, because LLM will get even better and better. But for this year, we put a policy on the use of LLM. We made it available for people to look at. We gave it also to the reviewers. At the same time, we have some strict policies in hallucination for MICCAI 2026. Marius, you would like to add that?
Yes, and I'll add briefly. First of all, we're very grateful for the very hard work that's been put by the team this year, because this increase in the number of papers is also increasing the efforts for the team. And the work has been extraordinary. And everything that comes to review, it's always going to be imperfect, right? I was program chair a couple of years ago, and I had to deal with this too. And I know we demand more, and we have to deliver more. But one of the things that I want to also emphasize here, that we count very much on the community to support the review. So we count on you as well to get engaged, to provide reviews of the quality that you would also like to receive for your papers. Just think that you are, in the end, the recipients, and provide the same level of quality to others. And I think working all of us together with these challenges, right, that LLMs may bring along the way, this is the most sustainable way to be successful in the future.
Right. Thanks, both of you. I have one question for Professor Essert. You have mentioned about the strong history of computer-assisted surgery in Strasbourg. How would students who are attending MICCAI connect with local institutes and local groups? Do you have some pointers for them?
So most probably we will have a booth at the conference for the university and the IHU and the different groups. So if you want to reach out to us, you can come visit the booth. And if you are arriving a little bit early or leaving after the conference, so you are very, very interested in collaborating, for example, or something, you can also contact one of us. And we can arrange either a short visit or a discussion, or even maybe a meeting during the conference, for example.
Perfect. Thank you. For Professor Linguraru, one question you have introduced about the two conference locations and two more coming ahead during MICCAI 26. How is the conference location selected? Can you give some about the background process?
Right. So there is a formal way to propose a bid for organizing a conference, which is open to all MICCAI members. So MICCAI members can put together a team of program chairs and general chairs. This is the core team that can put a bid forward. And this is announced every year through all the channels of the MICCAI Society. So this year, we had multiple bids called for a few reasons. First of all, because we had a switch of location. So we're looking then on how to catch up with that. And also because we had some delays from the previous years when we had, some of you may remember, that we were supposed to go to Hawaii, and then we had some issues with the location there, so we had to switch as well. So anyway, this is why we are announcing more bid winners this year than it happened in the past. But the process is formal. You put together a concept that is sent, first of all, to the board and the society. That is briefly reviewed just for sanity checks. And typically those bids pass to the next level, where a full bid has to be composed, and that includes everything about the location. You've seen a lot from Caroline and Mohammed today. You see these things have to be in mind already. How do you get there? How expensive it is? How visas are working? How attractive is the location? What is the science and the background of the region to support MICCAI? And the team that is going to organize and run the conference is really important. Costs are important as well, because this has to be sustainable and it has to be feasible to do. When this whole bid is put together, then there is a formal presentation done in front of the MICCAI board, who then votes on the final winner. So, do you have ideas? Do you have a team with the experience and diversity that can organize MICCAI? Please do it. Just keep one thing in mind. We rotate to regions of the world, right? Every 3 years. So we have 3 main regions of the world. We look at kind of the Americas, Europe and Africa, and Asia and Oceania. And typically the bids go every year into a new location, with some notable exceptions that we had because of some events that are foreseeable.
Thanks, Marius. One final question for Jonas. Is there anything that will surprise a first-time visitor? And from me personally, what do you look most forward in an edition where you are a local person over there?
So one of the surprising thing I would say is that the only time you don't see the Strasbourg cathedral is when you stand right beneath it. It's a very nice monument. You have to go there and see it for yourself. You can also go on top of it because it's the tallest building in Strasbourg in general. You can see the whole city all around. So for students, it's actually very cheap. So I would advise to do that. And for the last question, sorry, I had a problem hearing you.
What do you personally look forward the most in a conference that is hosted locally for you?
I'm looking forward to seeing the whole scientific community where I have been last year and year before, coming to my wonderful city of Strasbourg and getting to see everything it has to offer. That's what I'm looking for the most.
All right. Thank you very much to all our panelists and all the attendees for staying so late. And thanks for answering all the questions. We will put up the video recordings online as well as the tidbits which Jonas mentioned on the MICCAI Student Board website. And thanks, Diana, for managing all the logistics of the event. And as Marius and Diana mentioned, we are 53 days and 13 hours away, and look forward to see all of you in Strasbourg. Thank you very much.
Well, and thank you again, Naren, Bishal, and the MICCAI Student Board for organizing this event, for having us here today to talk about MICCAI 2026 and the society, but most of all, for the all year round activities that you're doing and supported the growth of our community. And we look forward to celebrating with you. We know we have many events in Strasbourg, including a reception where I look forward to meeting everyone in person.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you.
you in Strasbourg.
See you in Strasbourg.
See you in
Bye.
Strasbourg.